The toss deferred. Cameron Gamble will kick off as Alabama receives. Ardarius Stewart about 3 yards deep, and he is cut down. Donnie Alexander, number 48. And let's introduce you to the Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Jalen Hurts, freshman, quarterback.
Well, we set up the fact that he's a true freshman quarterback, but you know what? This is a different cat. He does not seem to even be fazed at all by his youth or the size of the stage.
Out of Channelview, Texas. Damian Harris is the running back. That's O.J. Howard, who sets up as a wing to the left. Hurts out to Howard. Cut down for a loss all the way back to the 11-yard line. Dwayne Thomas, number 13, who was widely quoted earlier in the week as saying, "We will dominate Alabama."
And tackles for a loss are such a big part of playing defense against this Alabama team.
Lost 3, 2nd and 13. And off left side, Damian Harris popped Kendall Beckwith, who is the leading tackler for this LSU team. He was the first one there. Alabama offensive lineup. Robinson, Pierce, Baker, Bozeman, Lester Cotton will get the start again at right guard. Alphonse Taylor still showing the effects of a concussion suffered against Arkansas. 3rd down, 11. Ridley is the inside man. Here's Hurts rolling out, pulling up. Intercepted. Jamal Adams.
The smartest football is Jamal Adams. Watch him. He knows where the play's going before it goes there. He's out there. The player runs right into him. Jamal Adams pre-read it, and I was talking to Lane Kiffin on the field. I said, what is Jamal Adams closest to? And he said, there's only one guy he reminds me of, Troy Polamalu. And how about that?
Wow. High praise indeed.
I am surprised by the early throw in their own territory for Alabama.
Now Danny Edling is the quarterback. Quickly throws it out to the right side. Malachi Dupree, who had been in a slump, has emerged from that slump. And the quarterback, 2 years at Purdue, transferred to LSU, sat out last year, and has assumed the quarterback efforts. Here's Danny Edling.
You know how good he feels right now, Vern? The biggest game I think he played in prior to this was against number 2 Ohio State at home. His first throw of that game, a pick-6 interception. He's 1 for 1. He's feeling good.
Earned the quarterback stop over Brandon Harris. And here 4 wides, 5 actually. Edling. Intended for Traven Gural and incomplete. LSU's offense. Malone, that's the son of Carl Malone. Hosick had some problems last year. Maya Tahima will replace Toby Weathersby again this week. Weathersby, the starter, has missed 4 games now. At least missed 3 prior to tonight. He might see a little action.
And Maya Tahima has played a lot of positions, both guard and tackle. He was a freshman All-American a year ago. It's not like he's a sub that has never played.
3rd down, 7, 3 wides to the left side. Yeah. Tim Williams. Tim Williams is a Baton Rouge native, graduated from University High School.
He gets low, and he's a sprinter. And this time he sets up to the outside Malone, and then with a crossover dribble, he comes inside. And the way I say that is because that's the son. Pretty good basketball player.
Yes. Here's Kobe Delahousse, Number 42, 5 of 7 for the year with a long of 44. This one measured at 49 yards.
Blocked.
Wide right, it was tipped. Yes, indeed.
I think it was Minka Fitzpatrick, number 29, coming around the end. Not sure.
Might have been Ronnie Harrison.
Boy, a good start for LSU. And what happens? You miss an open pass on second down. It was Ronnie Harrison. Good eye over there, Vern. Coming right through. He jumps through and gets in and too quickly, opening up on the left side and allowing Ronnie Harrison to get a good angle and block the field goal.
Time she asked our producer Craig Silver during a commercial, can we go back and look at Les Miles? I believe he just reached down and grabbed a tuft of grass. Thus the legend was enhanced. Ridley on the near side. Hurts. Bobbled. Is that a forward pass? Yes, it is. No lateral. Calvin Ridley.
Both teams are basically in their new MO. Same thing happened in last year's game for Alabama. They tried to set up the offense at the beginning of the game, did Lane Kiffin, to spread out the LSU defense. Same thing tonight. A lot of short, wide passes to try to spread them out.
Ardarius Stewart comes in. Up the middle, Damian Harris. And let's check the starting defense for LSU. Got Neal, Gilmore, Gottschall. Arden Key leads the team in sacks with 8. Beckwith, Riley White. Adams, you've already met. He had the interception earlier. It's 3rd and 1. Batted back. Hurts is off to a very tough start. And guess who? Dwayne Thomas again.
I can tell you this, LSU is stopping the quarterback first. On every fake, even if it's a bootleg or what, they're playing Hurts. They're playing the quarterback. We'll see if Lane Kiffin has the discipline to run the ball with the running backs. Because right now, they're ignoring the running back. They're going for the quarterback.
J.K. Scott, the junior from Denver, is on to punt for Davis White for LSU at the 15-yard line. White with 1 punt return for a touchdown this year, 3 in his career. This is going to take a hop at the 20. Oh, boy, dangerous. White grabs it and was contacted immediately.
Yeah. Dangerous, but I think worthwhile, especially since he didn't fumble it.
Right.
Because that would have rolled down inside the 5-yard line. So he basically made a first down for LSU.
LSU has it once again. We are sports. Now time to take a look at our Home Depot tools for success. Gary?
Well, when you're playing a great defense, and Alabama is, you need all your tools, and they better be sharpened, and they be ready to work early. The offensive linemen gave up too much penetration a year ago. They recreated a line, and that allowed Fournette no room to get started. In that football game, as we watch one more carry, whether any way he attacked, there was either a defensive lineman or a linebacker unblocked on him. Interesting in this game, he has not handled the ball. In the first 6 plays of last year's game, he carried it 4 times.
He is a tailback, J.D. Moore the fullback. And here's Fournette with the first carry. And let's check this Alabama defense, the 2016 version, and it is a good one. Jonathan Allen, for sure, an All-American. Minka Fitzpatrick has moved into the strong safety spot, and Tony Brown has become the star. Eddie Jackson broke a leg 2 weeks ago. There is Eddie with the team. The good news is that once the fracture heals, he'll be able to continue his football career. No long-lasting impact. And he is another All-American. 2nd down, 7. Play action. Lobs it out. It's caught by J.D. Moore. That's his 4th catch of the year. It'll bring up 3rd down.
One of the hidden talents for this Alabama football team. Everybody gets caught up in all the things they do stopping the run, but they tackle in space as good as any defense you'll see. Remind me very much of those old Miami Hurricane defenses. It looks like you got a good pass, you get him in the flat, and all of a sudden the linebacker or safety makes a catch and you gain 1.5 yards.
Tim Williams, second tackle already. Again, playing in his hometown of Baton Rouge. We had a chance last night to meet his niece and nephew at the Alabama Hotel. Here's the snap back. Edling goes deep, right side, man coverage, it's good. They caught it. DJ Chark. A gain of 41.
And they went right at Marlon Humphrey. And Chalk has been the guy that's emerged the most lately. He's the fastest of the receivers. And Steve Emsinger said, we've got to throw a few deep. If we don't get their corners and safeties, their cleats out of the ground, they'll be making tackles all night. We have to throw at least a few balls deep. Bonus, they caught one.
Draw play, Fournette. Oh, well.
Good decision.
Back in jail.
Yeah, but a good decision. He was going to reverse his field, and that would have lost another 5. This is the frustration of something that Alabama does so well. They just control those offensive linemen. They really just create a new line of scrimmage. They punch those offensive linemen with their hands, and their arms are straight, and there's nowhere to run. They create that picket fence, and then those speed linebackers just clean up.
Loss of 5. Etling in trouble. Down. Jonathan Allen. Who else? Number 93. Just having a sensational season is Allen.
Yeah, there was no one open here. This one thing that Ed Orgeron told Alley is we can't give them the ball. I mean, we can't let Alabama score with their quarterback sitting on the bench. That's what people have done. If you got to take a sack, you got to take a sack.
3rd and 17, scoreless first quarter. 8:30 to go. Four down. Etling back. He'll have to run, and he's going to get caught. This time by Rashawn Evans, number 32.
Let's go all the way back, though. You got to give a little success for this LSU team on this drive. Remember, Tre'Davious White made the gamble of picking up that ball. They could have had the ball on their own 2 or 3 yard line. Then they get the play, and they get it out to the 50. Alabama's defense is going to stop. They're that good. You've got to play some field position. So that was a successful drive for LSU.
Josh Grouden, the freshman punter, and Trayvon Diggs, who replaces Eddie Jackson at the punt return spot. Fair catch called for and taken at the 12. Jonathan Allen, senior defensive end. He's pretty good.
The first half with a bruised shoulder in Clemson's 54-0 win over Syracuse. Jake Browning looking to keep number 5 Washington undefeated later tonight at Cal as we go back to Baton Rouge.
All right, Adam, thank you.
We've got a great chess match going in this football game. Lane Kiffin, who has remade this Alabama offense against the anti-up-tempo defensive coach Dave Aranda. This year, for LSU, only 8 touchdowns allowed in 7 games, only 2 runs of plus 20 yards.
And a first down now for Alabama. Jalen Hurts, 1 of 4 from -3 yards. He will pass and complete it to Ardarius Stewart. Great pursuit by LSU.
Absolutely. But so far in this game now, we talked about, as we watch another bobbled pass, will Lane have the patience to run the ball? 7 plays, 5 passes.
2nd down, 8. Blitz threatened. 3 down. See how many are coming. Looks like it might be 4, but Dwayne Thomas is creeping up. Number 13. It's a little loud here. Here comes the blitz. They try the sweep, and Damian Harris is tackled by Dante Jackson, number 1.
Dante Jackson.
3rd and 5. Stewart breaks and goes wide to the right.
Just remember, LSU is playing the edges.
Ridley, bottom of the screen. Five on the line. They rush 4. Little pass out to the left. It'll be 4th down.
Again, a very tough throw. Right in his face. Coming off the edge. Very difficult. I gotta believe that Alabama will realize that they usually like to widen out a team and then attack up the gut. In this game, they may have to attack up the gut and then go to the wide game.
J.K. Scott for the 2nd time. His previous punt was 50 yards. Tre'Davious White is at the 40-yard line. Good run. White at the 34. Nice return out to the 47. Minkah Fitzpatrick. 52-yard punt, 13 on the return. We remain scoreless in the first. 5:16 to go in the opening quarter here on Saturday night in Death Valley. And this game has been highlighted early on by defenses.
Right, Vern, Ed said to Allie he had a couple new wrinkles.
Yeah.
This might be the field position. He might be looking to add one of those wrinkles here.
Fournette deep back in the eye. Etling, 2 years at Purdue, from Terre Haute, Indiana. Started 12 games there. Handoff. And again, they swarmed to Fournette.
That didn't look any different, did it?
That's not the wrinkle.
And if you think Nick Saban, again, didn't look in the rule book and figure out a way to get ready for this game, this week, the scout team quarterback was John Parker Wilson for Alabama. He was Danny Etling. Of course, he came in here and won a football game. And the tailback was Trent Richardson. Kind of predicted that one.
Yeah.
But if there is any advantage that Nick Saban can find, and it's within the rules, he's going to use it.
And this is within the rules. Remember, Blake Sims was the scout team quarterback 2 weeks ago. Hand off to Derek Geis, who is Fournette's capable backer, more than capable. He's really a good player. 5'11", 212-pound sophomore from Baton Rouge.
One of the small things that the LSU coaching staff was preaching to their players is the importance of even turning a 2-yard run into a 4-yard run. They go, listen, every extra couple yards against this defense will help us in pass protection and being able to throw things later. So don't discount. This is almost NFL-style defense that Alabama plays. A 4-yard run is a success.
3rd and 8, 3 wides to the left side, and Fournette wide right. Etling inside, intended for Fournette. It was behind him, and it will be 4th down again.
Boy, I'll tell you, Alabama gets so much credit for how physical and great athletes, but watch how smart they are. They read these plays, the screen passes, in a half a second. You feel it? Look at him turn around and understand it, how quickly that they did that on that play. And that was Deron Payne, just a sophomore that sniffed out that play and grabbed that offensive lineman and not allow him to get on the screen.
That was Jerry Pruitt. You saw the defensive coordinator. Easy for you to say.
There it is. That's the bounce that Tre'Davious White saved going the other direction.
I get your point. I get your point. Well, Groudon, the freshman, a 48-yard punt and downed on the 2-yard line.
That's one thing that really gets Nick Saban upset, is his punt returners not catching the ball. He feels they're like a center fielder. You have to make that play. He used to get on Eddie Jackson, and he will right here. He says, you just lost us 19 yards on that play.
And so, from the 2, first down 10, Alabama. Joshua Jacobs is the running back. He's number 2 in rushing yards for the year for the Crimson Tide. He gets the handoff and he gets nothing. He is driven back. He lost about 1.5 yards. They're going to spot this inside the 1.
Freshman Devin White, number 24, rolling in as a substituted linebacker, makes this play. Watch him beat it inside, come off of Pierce Baker's block, and make the tackle. Wonderful play.
Second down, 11. That's O.J. Howard in motion. He'll throw from the end zone off his back foot.
It's amazing. Dave Aranda has set up his defense and said, I'm coming around the corner like it's a field goal or a punt. I am not allowing, if I can help it, I'm trying to keep that quarterback in the pocket. This time from the slot is the edge coming. And it keeps and forces a throwaway. All day in practice Thursday, that's all they did, is try to keep the quarterback in the pocket on runs and passes. Again,
Blitz from the corner.
Yep.
They got it out.
Yes,
Damian Harris.
And right up the gut. You have to at least let LSU know and that defense know that you're willing to attack it right up the middle. And Damian Harris has as good eyes at reading blocks as there is in college football.
Key block then was O.J. Howard. And here's no gain Kendall Beckwith. Let's go to Adam Zucker in our New York studio for a Ford update.
All right, thank you, Vern. Over in the East, Kentucky has won 5 of its last 6. Boom Williams going in to give them the lead on Georgia. Kentucky would be in first place in the East by a half game over Florida with a win after the Gators lost at Arkansas. Florida still controls its destiny in the East. Big game at Baton Rouge coming up later. Of course, big game right now.
All right, Adam, second down 10 here. Again, they threaten the corner blitz. They are not coming. Hurts with all kinds of time. Drills it right side. It's caught. And that's going to be very close. Trayvon Diggs.
This time that Alabama offensive line allowed Jalen Hurts to step into the throw. Hits Trayvon Diggs and gets his left foot down. Good call.
Diggs out of position. Now he hurries. He's not quite sure where to line up. Hand off, running play. They did pick up the first down. Joshua Jacobs again. Well, you heard Adam Zucker's update. Kentucky, remember we saw them week 2 lose 42-7, something like that.
Why do they have the basketball standings up at this time?
Oh my gosh. Mark Stoops.
He's done a great job.
He has.
That long field goal against Mississippi State turned their fortunes. He got out around the edge rusher.
Hurts kept it. Dante Jackson with the tackle.
I don't know who it was, but he did not do his assignment. Watch him come inside. I think it was Arden Key, number 49. He sniffed inside. That's all you need from Jalen Hurts. What a wonderful drive now for this Alabama offense.
Began at the 2. Hurts looks over the defense, now comes up. Will he stay under center? 4-3. Got it. Sweep right.
I think the quarterback
Hurts.
kept
You're
it.
right. Yeah, you're right.
That's the object, though.
Fooled me.
Absolutely. It's like doing old wishbone games right here. You ride the running back. Watch, they even. Read the player. You get defensive lineman chasing guy that doesn't have the ball.
3rd and 1. It'll be 4th and 2. Lewis Neal, number 92, with the stop.
Wow, what a great penetration play. That's the plays a year ago that Alabama was playing and making. This time, Lewis Neal defeats the block up front. I think it was actually Lester Cotton, number 66, that he beat on that play.
This one so far reminiscent of a certain 9-6 game with number 1 and number 2. That's the end of the first quarter. No score. We'll return to Baton Rouge after this message and a word from your local station. And we welcome all of you back to quarter number 2 at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, Alabama, and LSU scoreless after 1. It's 4th down and 2. J.K. Scott is on to punt. Tre'Davious White has moved up to the 23-yard line right now. 4th down 2, scoreless. Scott's effort. It's a good one. And White's going to let it bounce, and it heads toward the goal line.
First down for the Tigers.
Well, we welcome you back as we begin the second quarter of this ball game. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, no score. Total yardage between the two, 84 yards. So I ask, who had the better first quarter?
The NFL scouts. He's watching 9 players from Alabama that are going to be in the NFL and at least 7 for LSU. LSU's got at least 3 or 4 first rounders. Alabama has 5. Second, with 3 first downs, the chain gang. They haven't had to do anything. They've been taking their time.
You know, speaking of that 9-6 game in 2010, the last time LSU won in this series, there were 42 players from that game who wound up in the National Football League. Malachi Dupree with the catch here. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle.
I'll tell you, we talked about before that in space, there are players all over this conference that don't do it well, but none better than the whole group at Alabama. I talked about Alabama, Nick Saban remaking his defense. They're a little smaller, they're a little quicker. They seem to eat up more space than I can remember watching them in previous LSU games.
2nd down 7. 3 wides to the left. Up the middle she goes. Leonard Fournette close to the first down.
Talked about who had a good first quarter. Alabama's rush defense as well. But just a little crease allows Fournette to make that positive falling forward run. That's the positives you have to be satisfied with. You're not looking for 20-yard ones against this.
Fournette with 4 carries for a total of 3 yards. That's his longest effort.
I think this is the biggest play of the game so far for LSU. They cannot get stopped right here.
3rd and 1, I formation. They give it to the fullback, J.D. Moore.
He tried to fall forward 2 or 3 times. I think he got a good spot.
Yes, he did. Anthony Jennings was the first one there.
Yeah, remember, all it has to do is touch the 30 because the ball was a touchback.
And And so it is a first down LSU. J.D. Moore, that's his first carry of the season.
That's one of the new wrinkles.
Yeah, that's it.
Somewhere Les Miles is smiling with that new wrinkle.
Left side, Fournette spins out to the 40. J.D. Moore, the fullback, leading the block.
We visited with Leonard Fournette, yesterday, Friday. And he said, I go, so you're finally healthy? And he went, no, I'm not. He's not healthy, and he can do that.
Injured the last week of August, a high ankle sprain that has not healed. He said it probably won't heal until after the season. 2nd and 1, high formation. Fournette cut back. First down. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Alabama, LSU, or your favorite team. From signing day to game day, you'll get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today.
Making first downs, making positive plays, and then going for the chunk.
Again swarmed. Dalvin Tomlinson, number 54, first man there.
Nobody does it better again. This time it's Tim Williams to the outside. He's known as a pass rusher, but he set the edge and did not allow Fournette to go wide. Fournette saw a little bit of that red jersey outside and wisely stepped inside and instead of losing more yards.
Darius Geist now the tailback, number 5. That's Dupree, who starts in motion, now stops. Play action, Etling down low, caught by Malachi Dupree. First down across the 50-yard line.
Well, this is the offense that a few years ago Lane Kiffin used against Alabama. A few boots, a few fullbacks in the flat to keep the Alabama defense. Remember the Tay Cody block field goal game? That was engineered by Lane Kiffin on offense that night for Tennessee. His idea of keeping the Alabama defense honest was with the boots and the sneaks. Very well executed there by this LSU offense.
3rd and 1. There's Kiffin. 3rd year as the offensive coordinator. He and Ed Orgeron, great friends. They were together at Tennessee and again at USC.
Fullback again.
J.D. Moore. They've got a trend. That's his 2nd carry of the season at a first down. Orgeron, the interim coach. Take a look at this 2004 Tennessee. Oh, this is 09. And the Trojans 10-13 when Lane Kiffin was fired. Ed Orgeron was named the interim coach there, 6-2. But
they speak weekly, though. Great friend.
Yeah, except this week, we're told. Well, the Tigers moving now at the 45.
It was coming.
Play action. Got a man. Out of bounds. Or did he? Yeah. Yep. B.J. Chark.
Yep. Caught it with his left foot out, I believe. This ball was thrown late. Danny Etling needed to anticipate the throw. There was plenty of green grass there. Listen, in these types of games, they always say the little thing means everything. Everything means everything in these games. Everything means everything. That ball, if it was thrown a half second earlier, that could have been completed. He knew he had him one-on-one.
And so it's a 2nd down and 10. They'll send 3 wide to the left again. Fournette is the running back.
Let's see if they can figure out a way to pick up 4 or 5 yards against this Alabama defense and put it in 3rd and medium.
Fournette.
That's exactly what they went for.
Yeah, little stutter. Reuben Foster. Fournette for the last 2 years. Alabama's been his kryptonite. See, in 2014, total of 79 yards, and then memorably a year ago, 19 for 31. That included an 18-yard run when the issue was long decided.
Well, no one gains a lot of yards against Alabama. The last running back to gain triple digits was a while ago, Nick Chubb for Georgia, and that was a late carry that didn't really mean that much.
Edling across the middle.
Again, another solid tackle.
DJ Chark, Ronnie Harrison with the tackle.
Harrison doing his job. He's a cross between one of those linebacker safeties. He stayed inside and he looked for somebody to come in his area and took him as a man and then wrapped up and made the tackle.
4th and 5. Josh Grouden will punt. He's another of the Australian punters. You remember the string of Aussies who had punted for LSU began with Brad Wing. And then Jamie Keane took his place. And here's the freshman Grouden out of Sydney. Oh, that's going to be really effective. Yeah. Trayvon Diggs calls a fair catch. Way to go, mate. Time called. Hey, games over the last 10 years. Let's go down to Allie LaForce.
Hey, Vern, Eddie Jackson has been sitting with the defense, even standing behind Minkah Fitzpatrick, walking him through what he's seeing on the field. Even though he can't be out there, he's still being a vocal leader. I talked to him. He told me he gave the team a speech before the game, and he told him, imagine this was the last game you ever played in. That has to be your mentality on every play. He's a huge part of this team still.
Thank you, Allie. Average starting position now for Alabama has been its own 14-yard line.
Yeah, last two drives have started at the 2 and here at the 9.
Corner blitz. Look at that gang tackle. Whoa. And again, Dwayne Thomas a part of it.
Well, this LSU defense has come to play tonight, haven't they? I mean, last year, you got to remember, you got to give the defense credit. This was a 10-10 game and a half. 2 minutes to go in half. And then all of a sudden, Alabama runs a field goal at the end, interception in the second half, and before they could get back out on offense, it was a 10-point different game. They kept it close in the first half as well.
Bo Scarborough is the new running back.
Boom.
And he surges out to the 15-yard line.
Scarborough carrying the ball.
Bo Scarborough comes in and plays physical running back. He did not look for a crease at all. He looked for a sledgehammer.
Third and 3 in the scoreless game.
Off the edge, great block to get him outside.
There he goes. Scarborough with the block. Hurts with the run.
Remember, attacking the edge. LSU, block. That's what made the play. Scarborough takes him down, and the defense is defeated right there. That defense was counting on that player from LSU to keep him inside. Deshaun Bauer got blocked.
28-yard gain for Hurts. It's Scarborough again.
Yep.
Surging out near the 45-yard line.
And now it's looking like the Derrick Henry offense that we saw a year ago, where he slammed the LSU defense and pounded them for over 200 yards. Remember, a year ago, 60% of the runs went to Derrick Henry. This year it's being spread around. 31% to Harris, 26% to Jalen Hurts.
Damian Harris back in the lineup. Here's Hurts into the flat. Ridley got loose. Calvin Ridley down the sidelines. And that's going to be another big gain and a first down for Alabama.
First missed tackle of the game, and it was Jamal Adams. Coming up from the secondary, one you got to make. We talked about Alabama making the tackles. This time, Ridley makes Jamal Adams a miss.
Gain of 21, first down. Here's Hurts, batted down. Dwayne Thomas. I remind you again, he's widely quoted in a local newspaper article saying, "We will dominate Alabama." He's sure been a factor defensively tonight.
When they're going to target Big O.J. O.J. Howard, when will he get in this football game?
Hurts into the end zone. Harris is knocked out away from the ball. Well, here's the Dwayne Thomas quote from a week ago. "I just feel like this is the year. Time for us to bring that win back. I just feel like we're going to dominate this game." I don't know how effective quotes are.
I don't think it makes any difference.
Okay, there you go. It's a talking point.
It is. He better play well, and so far he has.
Third down 10. Ball up to 24, no score. Hurts, man coverage, thrown away. Not thrown away, incomplete.
Tre'Davious White did a great job. It would have taken a perfect pass and a Julio Jones type catch on this play, and the ball was just a little too high. Watch White, their best man-to-man coverage, playing more outside in this game than I'm used to. He's playing a lot more slot coverage in the tape we watched in this game. He's lining up wide.
That's going to bring on Adam Griffith, the redshirt senior for the year, 10 of 15. This to break the scoreless tie from 42.
Vern, now it is beginning to think a little bit like that 2011 game, isn't it? Missed field goals, blocked field goals, great defense. I think you're right.
It does. That 9-6 game was in Tuscaloosa. It was won by LSU in overtime. Bench number 13, Gary, Dwayne Thomas.
Well, we said if you're going to talk, you got to back it up. And looking at the highlights, he's doing just that. O.J. Howard with the tackle, coming off the edge, batting down the pass from Hurts, and then watch him defeat the block and go in and make another tackle in the backfield. When you talk and you back it up, everybody on that bench looks at him and says, "You're the man. You're doing it. We're noticing."
How about that? 7 tackles already. And after the missed field goal, LSU from its own 24-yard line. Ethan Posick, number 77 at center.
Had a little more success running left than right has LSU. I don't think they're going to run on this formation.
Nope. Leonard Fournette up on the line. It was a
called play.
Etling, yes, it was. It was a design quarterback draw, and Etling scoots out to the 33.
And that's all you need. One of the things we talked to Steve Emsinger, the new offensive coordinator, about, and that could have been called, he was sliding there, and he did take a hit, is we don't need our quarterback in this game, and there's Steve right there, to make 30-yard runs. We need him to hit the curl pass, the swing pass, and give us 5-yard runs. He said, "I'd be thrilled with that."
He picked up 7 on that quarterback draw. Again, Alabama threatens a corner blitz. Fournette goes right, short of the first down.
You know, looking at that slide and just saying it could have been called, I would not have called it.
Okay.
Somewhat of a late slide. I don't think he got lit up that bad. No harm, no foul. I like the way the officials are handling the game.
And Fournette now with 9 carries for 18 yards.
This is slow motion. Remember, Foster's coming in on this one just as he's letting it go. That's football right there.
Foster, perhaps the best linebacker in the country.
This is the third and short. They made the other 2.
And they made this one.
Yes, they have.
On the second effort of Leonard Fournette, Jonathan Allen.
each time the fullback basically has carried the ball. Getting it to him quick. Everyone that you talk about running against this Alabama defense, they talk how fast they are, and the misdirection and slow developing plays have no chance. You got to hit on them fast.
35-yard line, first down 10. We'll keep tabs on Fournette. He's now carried 10 times for 20 yards. Gets it again. Whoa, popped.
Both linebackers that time, Reuben Foster and Sean Dion Hamilton. Neither one of them were touched. They're quick. Watch them both dodge and fill the hole. Nobody on them. Those big defensive linemen ate up the blocks, and those quick linebackers got in there and made the play. Great defense again.
Second down, 11. Darius Geis will give Fournette a rest on this play. And again, 3 wides to the left side. Geis. Reuben Foster up high. Jonathan Allen down low. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll go back to Adam, Rick, and Brian for the Geico halftime report. A lot of interesting results today, especially in the SEC, where A&M was knocked off by Mississippi State. Auburn survived.
Listen, 2:43. Last year, LSU did not get out of the half. They can get out of the half here. I'd take 0-0. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half.
Blitz dropped.
Had him too. Second pass.
Yep.
The second pass that Danny Etling had the guy. Remember, I said they would take just hitting the easy pass. He missed one in the first drive, and he missed one there. Now, that could be a little miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback. We get all that. But it was an opportunity to make a first down, and it was missed. And this is when Alabama is most dangerous. End of halves.
Well, I said he dropped it. He obviously was behind it. Here is the freshman Groudon. That chases Tayon Diggs back to the 10, but he will return as a flag down. This is going to come back.
And it's going to start for the third consecutive drive inside the 10, this one around the 5-yard line.
Groudon with a 51-yard punt. And here is Matt Austin.
I don't think Matt knew this was a nationally televised game. We have not heard from him.
No, we have not.
During the return, illegal block in the back, 23 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first out.
First penalty of the game, Aaron Robinson.
Just a little bit of a tug, but that's all you need when the official's standing 6 yards away.
2:16 to go, first half. And now Quicken Loans presents today's Scholar Athletes for Alabama, Ross Pierschbacher, and for LSU, Danny Etling. See the bottom line, proficient in sign language. Danny at Purdue took 4 semesters in sign language to learn the skills. He's also, by the way, an Eagle Scout. Quicken Loans' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to Alabama and LSU's General Scholarship Fund.
Let's see how gutsy Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban are on this series. Will they open it up? Remember, both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining.
Damian Harris is the running back. He gets the handoff from Hurts and gets 1 yard.
Both coaches are playing safe. Orgeron and Saban, right now, both of them. LSU doesn't dare want to take a timeout and allow Alabama to break a play.
If you've been with us since the outset, 1 missed field goal for each. And the average starting position has been the 13-yard line, the last 3 for Alabama. At the 2, the 9, and the 5. 4 seconds to go. Damian Harris is going to bring up a big 3rd down now with 1:25 to go.
Keep them inside, rush from the outside, and this time you get LSU calling a timeout.
Let's put a new
stick. Let's take a look at the top 10 thus far. Alabama, Clemson rolled over Syracuse. Michigan rolled over Maryland. Whoops. The Aggies lost at Mississippi State. And you see Washington, Ohio State with a big lead over Nebraska.
Yeah, my big winner of the day, Auburn, because A&M owned the tiebreaker. Auburn now controls their own destiny.
They've won 6 in a row. And a huge 3rd down here, 3rd and 5.
Well, Aranda and LSU again attack from the edge. It's been number 13 all night. Here he is. There he goes.
4th down. Hurts angling for the 1st down marker.
You can see the game plan. To the wide side of the field, they're going to be somebody wide every time.
It will be 4th down, but Hurts did get out of bounds to stop the clock with 1:17 to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he wanted to get out of bounds because LSU would have used the timeout there.
Well, J.K. Scott, this will be his 4th punt. He had a season long of 66 yards earlier tonight. They could use a huge punt right now. Tre'Davious White at the 45.
Play was killed. No play.
Before the snap, delay of game, kicking team. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
There's been a lot of great physical plays as you look at this delay of game. But there's been a lot of missed plays in this game. A lot of bobbled balls, drop passes, missed easy completions, sacks. It's been a little bit of both teams being tense in this game.
Cole Mazza, number 55, will snap it back, and Scott will attempt the punt again. White moves up to the 43-yard line.
Low kick.
Oh boy, really ineffective. Takes a little hop sideways and back toward the Alabama goal line. 37-yard punt. Well, how is Leonard Fournette done today?
Well, it's not as bad as last year.
Exactly,
we'll say that, okay? His first 10 carries a year ago, he had 10 total yards. He's had a couple of nice runs, 6, 8, 9-yard type runs. But for the most part, the Alabama defense has stoned him again, obviously. 11 for 19. Again, great defense. And as Leonard Fournette said, I'm not Superman. I know that's my nickname. I can't beat 11 guys.
LSU with 2 timeouts remaining. Play action. Etling gets rid of the tackle and throws it incomplete. Deron Payne, number 94, almost got him.
You never know who's going to make the play for this defense. We said Jonathan Allen, oh my goodness, he ran right over the offense that time.
2nd and 10.
Josh Boutte is not going to want to watch that one on tape. That's slightly embarrassing.
Fournette.
And there's Ronnie Harrison. We talked to Steve Emsinger about who really impressed you. You know, that front 7, they're really tough. Did you have any chances? He said, yeah, they're tough. But you know what else they're good at? Getting those safeties in those spots to make plays. They fill, and they're so well coached in the right holes that they make those safeties make a lot of tackles.
And no sense of urgency from LSU here. They've got a 3rd and 8. They do have 2 timeouts left, and they've let the clock run down to 25 seconds.
They got to go deep, don't they? Maybe they can get an interference or something.
Etling crossing pattern. That's good, but it's not enough. Traven Durrell with the catch.
I would have chucked one down there to the 10-yard line and let my tall receivers try to come up with a play or a 15-yard penalty. Alabama does not miss tackles on plays like that.
And LSU has called time. It stops the clock with 8 seconds to go.
Interesting call of a timeout there. I would have waited and had one more play to throw to the end zone.
Well, time has been called. Obviously, LSU had the mindset of going for the field goal, not the touchdown.
You were talking, could they chuck it deep? They decided to try to get a little bit into field goal range. Again, Alabama tackles so well. No racks, no runs after the catch. An early timeout, though. LSU now risks a quick sack, and it'll be Alabama throwing the deep ball in the end zone.
Now, they are not apparently going to attempt the field goal.
No, they're going to throw the Hail Mary and hope that it takes no sack or it takes 8 seconds.
Edling, here's your basic Hail Mary. And that one is knocked down.
There's 1 second left. And we know a lot happens in 1 second.
We
right,
do,
Bert?
especially with Matt Austin as the official.
And you know, when you think about this, is when they called timeout with 8 seconds, I mean, they could have called timeout with 2 seconds.
Well, the reference we're making that they did knock it down.
Well, he tried. It looked to me like he tried to catch it, to me, to tell you the truth, and get an interception, but he missed it.
Matt Austin was the official in the famous Alabama-Auburn game.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be known for anything else. A lot of maybe a lot of bad things, but we're always going to be known for that 1 second return of a field goal.
When Nick Saban insisted on replay, and they did, Matt Austin famously said, "Please put 1 second back on the clock."
Could be a hook and lateral type play, or it could be very conservative.
Hurts.
It's nothing.
No.
God, we did all that talking too.
Well, if you like scoreless ties, we got your plate full.
In 2011, it was a score bonanza, 3-3. This game's a low score.
Now time for Inside Access, presented by AT&T.
Is that who Alabama might want to feature, because he was their most effective back. I agree with Nick. Run Damian Harris, throw the ball deep. If I'm LSU, I love the way this game is unfolding.
Recall that the coin flip went to LSU. They deferred. Alabama opened with the ball, so the Tigers, in a scoreless game, will get the ball to open quarter number 3. Leonard Fournette, 12 carries for 21 yards. Damian Harris, 7 for 33. But they have collapsed around Fournette in the first half, they being the Crimson Tide of Alabama. Adam Griffith will kick off. And this one will be a touchback. As we begin quarter number 3 in this scoreless game, you heard Nick Saban say, we got to run it. Jalen's got to play it. No, Coach. Coach, Dan.
You want me to do it?
Yeah. What adjustments are you going to make?
I think both teams need to throw a few more short passes and deep passes. I think they got to go deep a few times. They've got to open up these defenses. They're too tough to run against. They're coming from the outside against Alabama. They had a couple passes, stay in the pocket, take some 8-9 yarders, and give some deep balls. Both teams, I think, should do the same thing.
We will ask Allie to convey that information to both LSU and Alabama coaches. We begin the third. First scoreless first half in 11 years. Etling Oh, boy. Ryan Anderson took him down somewhat aggressively. Reuben Foster was also there.
It was a 3-man pass route. They tried to help with people in the backfield with a running back and fullback to help. Still no one open. Etling again does what he has to do, eat the ball. And now against this Alabama defense, very, very tough to pick up the first down.
Already the 4th sack in the game.
Remember, #1 goal. Alabama can't score when their quarterback's sitting on the bench. That's LSU's game plan.
Right side, Fournette puts his head down. And take us through the first half trends.
There's not much to show in a 0-0 game. Jalen Hurts, as Nick told Allie, has to throw him a little bit better, a little bit more accurate. Said he missed a couple reads. Fournette has not had that break run. You know, that one run where they don't fit it right and 2 missed field goals. First time a Nick Saban Alabama team has been shut out in the first half since 2007. His first year, his rebuilding year at Alabama.
3rd and 12 here to open the 3rd quarter. Etling was 7 of 13 throwing the ball. Fournette will block. Etling lets it go.
He missed an easy one again. That's the 3rd of the game. It's too hard when you have an opportunity and you can make a play. That's the pitch and catch I've been saying that LSU has been missing for a while. The easy throw. And he threw a knuckleball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. One hopper to Trayvon Durrell. The World Series is already over.
That looked like an old Purdue quarterback that played in the 70s that's talking right now.
You are self-deprecating at times. Oh, it's bobbled. Holy cow. Trayvon Diggs, well, they do miss Eddie Jackson, don't they?
Yes, they do. #1 punt returner in the country coming into this game. But remember, Nick Saban scolded Diggs by saying, you got to field these. Be aggressive. You can't beat a good football team playing it safe.
LSU can't get the first down. Alabama does have the ball when we come back. Derrick Henry and Leonard Fournette a year ago in this game in Tuscaloosa. And now Alabama with by far their best starting field position of the night. Ardarius Stewart goes right. Calvin Ridley comes left.
Yes, a very quiet Calvin Ridley, who was one of the best deep ball receivers in college football. He's got a tough matchup, though, against Tre'Davious White.
Damian Harris is the running back. Jalen Hurts ineffective for much of the first half. They fake the jet sweep. Hurts goes deep, stride for stride.
Deep ball.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, Darius Stewart. Wow.
Little motion here. Come up, look at the safety switch. Jamal Adams switches, comes up on the field, and all of a sudden, good field position means that Lane Kiffin can go deep, and he did.
53 yards. There's Damian Harris. How about the catch?
Perfect throw. Good concentration. You cannot throw a ball any better than that. I cannot believe Nick Saban told Allie exactly what he was going to do.
Harris goes right and is contacted behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Duke Riley did a great job blowing that play up. Watch Riley hit this play from behind. I think he's right here. Watch him hit the play from behind and beat it before it can get started.
And the Alabama offense on the Verizon red zone, 23 touchdowns, right at the national average. O.J. Howard is split to the left. Here goes Hurts down at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Duke Riley again.
Yep.
And that's the play that gave Tennessee so many problems. Faking the ball inside, get the tight end outside, but what a play by Riley. And they're going.
Indeed they will. 4th and goal. Scoreless game. Damian Harris is the running back. Run blitz coming. Hurts is stopped for a loss. Duke Riley, 3rd consecutive defensive play.
Listen, Alabama has changed their offense. And Lane Kiffin tried to go fast, but watch LSU guess the snap count. They attack. Watch it. They guess the snap count, and they hit it on the run. That was the breakdown, and then with the traffic in front of them, you could not make it. Jamal Adams off the edge also was in on the play. He actually tackled 2 guys. Jamal Adams tackled the running back and the quarterback on the same play.
And Lane Kiffin. Oh, brother.
He went quick count. Either the team was confused or they got the wrong play, but it was not a clean play on 4th down for Alabama.
And as the ball goes over on downs, 1st and 10, Fournette, nothing. Still, one more look at Hurts trying to escape the tackle.
Coming off the bench, 33 right there. Goes for inside, then gets his arm on the outside. Troy Polamalu play if I've ever seen one. And Duke Riley ends up with a beautiful 3-play sequence,
Wow.
didn't he?
Yeah. That might be on the highlight reel. 2nd down 9.
Ed Orgeron took a timeout.
LSU, the first time out of the half.
Well, you live by the fast tempo, and sometimes you die by the fast tempo. And that time Alabama tried to gimmick a fast play. It blew up in their face.
I'm my team's #1 fan.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Ford, Allstate, Fantastic Beasts, and by Chick-fil-A. That's the ground level view outside. Our aerial coverage tonight provided by Goodyear. For 60 years, Goodyear has provided aerial coverage of college football's greatest traditions and biggest rivalries.
Let's be clear. I was all for Alabama going for the touchdown. With that defense, if you don't make it and you give LSU the ball on the half-yard line, there was some question whether Jalen Hurts got his knee down. He did. His left knee came down.